It's 5 o'clock, and here's the world news at 5. First, the top stories. CBN Bullion van crashes into Governor Musu's convoy near Shagamu. Funab Vice Chancellor suspended over court trial for alleged abuse of office. Governor Dakwambo cautions against granting autonomy for councils. Cancer now kills 193 Nigerians daily, according to biochemistry professor. Cote d'Ivoire mutineers agreed to drop demands for more pay. South African varsity suspends students over Nazi posters found on campus. I am Tobi Joseph, bringing you the news in details shortly. A bullion van of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has crashed into the convoy of Governor Bikola Muso on the flyover bridge at the Shagamu interchange. Nobody, however, was injured in the incident. The incident occurred as the CBN bullion van, which was heading from Abeokuta to Lagos, attempted to overtake the convoy of the governor. The governor was on his way to Lagos for the traditional engagement of the daughter of former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the son of business magnate Sanek Sintin. At Debutu, the bullion van, which was the convoy of other CBN vehicle, accompanied by mobile policemen, hit one of the security vehicles in the governor's convoy. The security details of the governor's convoy then fired gunshots to deflate the tires of the bullion van. Reacting to the incident, the governor says he is disappointed over the way the bullion vans of banks have been driven in the state. The reckless driving of bullion vans, according to the governor, is putting other motorists in danger in the state. Also, in a statement, describes the crashing of a bullion van into his convoy at the Shagamu interchange on Thursday as a lawlessness and height of impunity that will not be tolerated in the state. The governor says if bullion van could crash into his convoy, he imagines the ordeal of other motorists. Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta Funab, Professor Oyewole, has been suspended over the court trial he is facing for alleged abuse of office. Federal Minister of Education in a letter says the decision was taken following his arraignment by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in court last November 24 for the alleged crime. The Vice Chancellor, whose 5-year tenure of the Vice Chancellor is suspected to expire May 23, has been directed to hand over to the most senior of the university's deputy vice chancellors. The governing council of FUNAB, headed by Aboki Zawa, is expected to meet immediately over the development. Governor Ibrahim Dakwambo of Gombe State has canvassed against the proposed financial autonomy for the local government. Dakwambo contends that the local government system lacks the capacity to manage funds that will be disbursed directly to them from the Federation account. The governor, speaking at the 18th Founders Day lecture of the Binedio University, Okada, says the local government system has weak managerial and administrative capacity to effectively implement programs and execute projects. He explains that is why highly educated Nigerians are shying away from serving in the local government. The governor suggests that the capacity of the local government should be gradually strengthened with attractive remuneration and better conditions of service to attract well-qualified manpower. The House of Representatives has passed the 2017 appropriation bill. The bill was passed 6 months after President Buhari presented it to a joint session of the National Assembly last December. The House passed the bill after adopting the report of its appropriation committee. Earlier, there was a rowdy session during debate on the bill, as most of the senators opposed the recurrent budget of 51.9 billion naira voted for the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The chamber was wrong to protest by the senators who wanted a vote to be deleted from the bill. Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC) has asked members of the public to ignore the rumor that some of the banks are in financial distress. The corporation says the rumor is being circulated through text messages and social media. The corporation managing director, Alhaji Umaru Ibrahim, stated this while receiving executive members of the Alumni Association of National Institute in his office. He says the rumor is being masterminded by people who are bent on demarketing some of the banks. Cancer now kills an average of one Nigerian every 7 minutes or 193 daily. Professor of Biochemistry at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Sunday Atawodi released the shocking statistics to newsmen on the sidelines of the public lecture at the Academy of Science in Abuja, describing the disease as a fast killer. The professor says almost every household in the country now has someone suffering from cancer. Atawodi, who expressed concern at the rate of increase of the disease, lamented that against the recommendation of the World Health Organization, Nigeria had only 8 radiotherapy machines instead of the recommended 180. He, however, says that of the 8 radiotherapy machines, only 1 is functioning. Northern Elders Forum has asked Acting President Yemi Osinbajo to be wary of mischievous elements plotting to heat up the polity in the absence of President Muhammadu Buhari. The forum, in a communique issued at the end of its emergency meeting in Abuja, urged him to ignore mischief makers seeking to pit him against Buhari, who is on medical vacation in London. The Northern Elders says they are aware of attempts being made to exploit the absence of Buhari to achieve dubious political goals. They want him to exercise responsibilities as in the past, with the commitment, sensitivity, and respect for the Constitution. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris says the police force requires additional 155,000 to effectively protect lives and properties in the country. Idris, speaking at the National Security Summit in Abuja, says the proposal had been forwarded to the presidency for approval. Under the proposal, the police chief explained that at least 31,000 police cadets will be recruited yearly for 5 years to meet United Nations requirements of 1 police officer to 500 people. He also asked the National Assembly to pass the Police Reform Trust Fund bill placed before it since 2008. You're still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next will be your foreign, business, and sport news. Please stay with us. Thousands of Cote d'Ivoire soldiers who mutinied at the start of this year have agreed to drop their demands for further payments from the government. A spokesman for the group apologized to President Alassane Ouattara at a televised ceremony in Abidjan, signaling an end to the protest. The mutineers, really demobilized former rebels, forced the government into paying bonuses of about $8,000 each that had been due to receive further payment this month. Some mutineers in Cote d'Ivoire's second city, Bouaké, criticized the deal, saying they had not been consulted. On Thursday, soldiers were shooting in the air in protest. Pope Francis is embarking on a high-profile pilgrimage to Fatima in central Portugal, a shrine where he plans to make 2 shepherd children saints. It is 100 years since the 2 and a 3rd child reported seeing the Virgin Mary while tending sheep. The 3rd is also on the way to sainthood. Portugal had boosted security and reinforced border controls, suspending the Schengen Open Borders Pact. The church says the first edition came on 13th of May 1917. The beautification process for her began in 2008. A leading South African university has suspended 3 students suspected of being linked to Nazi-inspired posters which appeared on campus notice boards earlier this week. The posters at Stellenbosch University had caused outrage, with critics saying it was the latest sign of racism at the institution. The university has condemned the posters and started an investigation to find out who was behind them. Vice-Chancellor Wim de Villiers said he had decided to suspend the 3 students suspected of misconduct while disciplinary proceedings are ongoing. The posters were reminiscent of Nazi propaganda to rally support for Hitler, called for a fight for Stellenbosch. The university has been fraught with racial tension since white minority rule ended in 1994. In business, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State has cried out over the state government's monthly salary bill. Okowa says the 7 billion monthly wage is outrageous as the internally generated revenue IGR is low. The governor, speaking at a town hall meeting in Ole, in the Soko axis of the state, stated that the continuous payment of the huge wage bill is impossible unless the workforce is created. He also expressed concern about the suspected massive fraud in the payment of pension. The governor says the workforce will undergo verification to enable the state government to know the actual number of staff on its payroll. Final on the World News at 5, Sport News. Nigerian international Ahmed Musa has opted to stay in England despite limited playing time at Leicester City. His representative, Tony Harris, revealed that there has been contact from a Chinese Super League club for the attacking winger, but says that Musa is only focused on staying in England. At the same time, Musa is suspected to hold an end-of-the-season discussion with Leicester City manager Craig Shakespeare on his future at the club. According to Harris, there is no such agreement for the 24-year-old to end his contract with Leicester. Harris made it clear that Musa is in England to succeed in the Premier League despite reports linking him with an exit from the club. Musa has made 30 appearances and scored 4 times for the Foxes in all competitions this season, with most of them being as a substitute. Nigeria's former striker Daniel Amokachi says Chelsea's Victor Moses has a comparable ability to Lionel Messi. Moses has enjoyed a superb season in a new role as a wing-back for Chelsea and could end the season as a Premier League and FA Cup winner. But the former Nigerian national team assistant coach Amokachi reckons the Blues have only scratched the surface of what Moses is capable of. Amokachi says it has been a very long time since he saw a player who has so many qualities. That was the World News at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. CBN Bullion van crashes into Governor Musu's convoy near Shagamu. Governor Dakwambu cautions against granting autonomy for local government. Cancer now kills 193 Nigerians daily, according to biochemistry professor. FUNAB Vice Chancellor has been suspended. Cote d'Ivoire mutineers agreed to drop demands for more pay. South African varsity suspends students over Nazi posters found on campus. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website at www.rockfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good evening.